Viva la revolucion! That's the battle cry of Hispanic Americans that are leading the revolt against the socialist government of Joe Biden. Or maybe it's just a fun way for me to tell you the largest minority group in America is rejecting the across-the-board failing policies of the worst president in the last 150 years. Joe Biden and the Democrats are not doing anything to look out for you, and their policies are driving this great nation to its knees, and they continue on because they care far more about power and their own personal wealth than they do about you or your family. It's obvious. And there really is no way to argue otherwise at this point. It all began on the first day in the Oval Office when the decrepit and senile Joe Biden began doing the bidding of Barack Obama, Susan Rice, and the other puppeteers that are really calling the shots these days. And they're doing what they can to reduce America to just another nation with its peasants reduced to serfdom, which is making me rethink the entire student loan debacle, too, but we'll get to that next week because the U.S. government has put millions of young Americans on the hook for tens of billions of dollars and a lot of cash flow. But then again, I digress. Today, we're looking at a stock market that's plummeting, while gas prices and inflation are skyrocketing. The cost to finance a new car has reached a brand new record high of nearly $660 a month for 6 years. And used cars, no better. An average cost of financing at $550 a month for 6 years. Really? It's killing people. How could you buy a new car? Let's ask Debbie Stabenow. Consumer spending is now stalling too, and that is something that the markets are also not ready for, meaning they could fall even farther. And so far, $3 trillion in retirement savings has been wiped out, and it seems to be getting worse. For those on fixed incomes, the inept and reckless policies of the socialist central planners and Biden's administration could mean poverty in the years to come. Poverty, despite working a lifetime and saving along the way. Housing starts are falling. And farmers are also on the brink of collapse in some places because they simply can't afford the cost of diesel fuel or fertilizer. You see, the storm isn't on the horizon anymore. The storm is here. And it took less than 18 months for Joe Biden's incompetence to swamp our great nation. We have to get serious now about stopping the damage Joe Biden is unleashing on all of us and then turn things around. It's a tall order. First, we have to correct the worst energy policy ever unleashed on the country and put American energy back at the front of the line and protect the energy companies from the whims of leftist politicians and the winds of politics. It can all be fixed. In fact, it will be, but we have some very rough water to go through before we get there. It's going to be a tough ride, my friends, but we'll get there. The financial pressure on families from inflation and soaring prices creating, well, a lot of anxiety for millions of us. Like these folks here. Listen.
At a food bank in Oakland, California, Jessley Arias says even the basics are suddenly out of reach.
Like, we're already spending like $300, $400 extra a month than what we used to before. It's overwhelming. Like, how much worse is it going to get?
How much worse is it going to get? They can't even cover the basics. $300 and $400 more a month they're already spending, and they can't get it covered. Why? Joe Biden. Karine Jean-Pierre also challenged on the president, saying he would end fossil fuels in America. And whether he's not ready to change that course because he's doing so much damage and devastating the middle class, the answer, no. They are hell-bent on destroying you, America, whatever it takes. Listen.
To do. Drill more here in the U.S., though.
Because we don't need to do that. What we need them to do is, with the oil that's out there, we need them to refine that oil so that the capacity could go up, and then prices would go down, inherently go down.
And so I know the president once said that he was going to end fossil fuel. Is that now off the table?
No, we are going to continue to move forward with our clean energy proposal, our climate change proposal.
No, we're going to keep right on going. We're going to destroy you. We don't care about your silly little needs like food and shelter. Pfft. We have palaces to live in. We have yachts to go on the weekends. We have wine to drink. Why do we care about you, peasant? The inflation, the economy, and Americans getting punished by the failing Biden administration is the fault of the American Rescue Plan in large part. That's not according to me. No. That according to Barack Obama's leading economist, Steve Ratner. Yeah, that's what he has to say about it. You don't have to trust me. Trust Barack Obama's economist about how bad the American Rescue Plan truly was for everyone. Listen to this.
There are several culprits. There's Biden and what he's done, and it's not irrelevant, but it's not.
And what is that?
Well, that is all the spending, basically.
Yeah,
the American Rescue Plan,
the relief,
the $1,400 checks, the $2 trillion that you and I have talked about a lot. That's on the sidelines. Half of that's government money that we gave people to spend, and now they're trying to spend it, so you get inflation.
Yeah.
And as we talked about the other day, left to its own devices, the administration would have proposed another $4 trillion of programs with taxes, but nonetheless, they still would have had. But that's one issue.
No, you see, it's a whole laundry list of problems attributed to Joe Biden. And for those on fixed incomes, well, that's a real problem. The stock market has wiped out $3 trillion in retirement savings so far this year. Stock market has wiped out $3 trillion. The sell-off, destroying retirement accounts. 401k plan participants have lost about $1.4 trillion according to one calculus, and 401 rollovers have lost $2 trillion. That'd be $3.4 trillion in losses for retirement accounts. Remarkable. June 16th, the market lost 741, did the Dow. The NASDAQ lost 453. That's down over 4%. S&P down 123, down 3.25%. An absolute bloodbath. So the Dow is no longer above 30,000. The Dow is no longer above 30,000. Nice job, Joe. Only took you 18 months to destroy the retirement savings of millions. Force seniors out of retirement and back to work. Trigger a price of gas and diesel that, so by the way, diesel set a new record price today. Gas, it has come down another fraction of a cent, but still sits at $5 per gallon national average. Could come below tomorrow, maybe for a moment, but we'll see. But not diesel. Diesel keeps setting records as it did again today, which means the price of groceries and goods and everything else continues to go up because inflation is pushed by fuel prices. All right? We got more to go through. The cost of financing a car, consumer spending running out of steam, all of it. We're going to go through it after the break here on the Steve Gruber Show. Don't go anywhere.